Hey guys, welcome to the overview of the 3.20 changes in ACE. There's a couple of changes that I'd like to address and show you guys, because some of them are really cool. I'll be discussing the option to sit on chairs, as you can see right now, the finger pointing system, the building interaction menu that you got there, as well as Zeus interaction menu, and the ability to virtually attach objects, and the system where you can cut your parachutes and then have a reserve parachute. But I'm going to start off with the chair sitting now. So as you can see, I'm currently sitting in a very comfortable office chair, and I'm not using any type of script or nothing. This is ACE, it's a new implementation of the sitting system, and I love it. I mean, obviously it's good for like in-game briefings, or perhaps, I don't know, roleplay, Alt is Life, something like that. The animations also aren't all the same. You can have, like right there I was sitting with my hands in my pockets, but there's also an animation where you're sitting with your hands on your lap, or even with your gun out. So the animations are kind of dynamic, which doesn't make it super boring or like super, I don't know, it's just a nice feature in my opinion. Now, I mean, there are a few chairs that don't work, but they're primarily modded ones, such as this one right here. I believe it's a port from ArmA 2, part of the All-in-Armor Terrain Pack. Also, the sun chairs don't work for obvious reasons, but all the other chairs do work, even the folding ones. So yeah, so in my opinion, that's a very nice feature. The next feature right here is finger pointing, with shift and tilt by default, and perhaps you have to place a module or change your framework settings. But you're able to finger point, point your finger in any kind of direction, which is very helpful if you're in a multiplayer environment and you want to spot enemies. So all you have to do is shift and tilt. And it will basically show you this big circle with your name underneath it in the general direction of where you pointed. Another quick feature that was added is the ability to open AMMA boxes using the ACE interaction menu. Now this might not seem like a big deal, but I've experienced many times where if multiple AMMA boxes were in close proximity of each other, I'd want to open an AMMA box and it turns out I opened the other one, or it's empty, whereas it's not empty. So this little option right here, although it's small, still helps a lot. The next and somewhat similar option right here is the ability to open buildings with your interaction menu. Now this is a, well, let's just say long requested feature because everyone, well, maybe not everyone, but I'd say a large quantity of the ArmA players hate the interaction menu as it comes to opening doors, because often you'll see that you open the wrong door. Now in order to activate this feature, you have to go to ACE options in the top left, and you'll see a show actions for buildings. You've got to turn that on. However, there is a performance cost when opening the interaction menu, especially in towns. So be aware. Anyway, so here's a classic example of the ArmA action menu. As you can see, I am standing in the middle right here, and I am looking at two open door functions. Like, for instance, I want to open this door, but I don't know which one's which. So this is where the interaction menu comes into play, because allowing me to just specifically target the door I want to open. And that is something that I've personally been waiting on for a long time in ArmA. And there was a mod, I believe, called the Action Button mod that added something similar. But I'm happy to see it implemented in ACE now. And I just quickly wanted to add that it does in fact work on custom buildings as well. I'm on the Silly map right now, and this is a custom-made building by Montcalb, I believe. That's how you pronounce his name. I think the only problem right now is with the custom doors is that the options are kind of offset. As you can see, they're not on the door itself. They seem to be a bit towards the right. Not sure what's causing that, but you can still open it. Hell, even the use doorbell option shows up. But as you can see, it's really compressed together. I don't know if that's going to be fixed by the ACE team itself, or whether or not it's just a problem with the door. So the next feature I wanted to show you guys was the Zeus interaction menu. This allows you to change some of the behavior aspects of the AI just using the ACE interaction menu. So for instance, if I wanted this entire group to go into combat mode, I mean, I could double click and use this. I could use that feature, of course, but if you have multiple groups, it becomes a bit more complicated. So what you could do is you could select the groups that you have, use the ACE interaction menu, go to groups, and then just say combat mode. Boom. They go into combat mode. You can also select an individual AI, say units group stance, and you can, for instance, force him to stand up. Just like that. You can also individually remote control. And you can also adjust the waypoints, for instance, the speed that they have to move towards the waypoint, or the combat mode. In this case, I want to go safe. I'm right now witnessing what seems to be a bug. The waypoint is set to safe mode, and they're supposed to move slowly, but as you can see, their original combat mode persists, and therefore they are not safe. But this can be fixed by selecting the AI, go to groups, combat mode, safe, groups, speed, limited. There you go. Another thing I want to show you guys is the virtual attach system. Right now it's only implemented on what I believe is chem lights and other things that you can attach to vehicles such as IR strobes, but later on I believe it will be implemented into the explosive system. That is, if I'm correct, I'm not entirely sure. So there's not really a big difference, except that you will no longer be able to place explosives through walls or something like that. But right now I'll show you the quick kind of technological difference right here. So with the explosive system right now, where the virtual attach system is not in place, there will be an actual 3D model. This means that there's all kinds of like physics collision issues that could appear with this. I'm not sure if this is lethal, but from what I know, a lot of objects that if it's attached to players can actually become lethal to other players. You can run into them with like a tire and hurt them. So I'm not sure if that's the case right now with explosives, but if it is, then it's a very logical approach to trying to replace this system. So this is an actual 3D model. You can see that because it's in shadow. Now if we switch to a chem light, which is a virtual attach system, you will see that there is no shadow. Even though it's a small object, there's still no shadow. Same thing with the IR strobe. That's because it's visually, it's not an actual object. It's actually placed on your HUD, as a matter of fact. And I'm not sure how well this is going to look like. I don't think it's going to be visible in multiplayer. And in third person right now, you can see that there aren't many issues, except that it like rotates around your head. But I mean, that's not really a big of an issue. So basically you can just place it anywhere. Now what is not possible is being able to place it like inside of an object. You have to be able to place it on it has to be visible in order to place it. So no longer like right now I'm just spamming left mouse button, but as long as it's invisible it won't place. So yeah, that's a nice little system you got going there, and I'm looking forward to seeing the explosive system ported over to this, so that you can no longer place explosives through walls and make it impossible for like enemies to find it. Another thing I wanted to show you, and this is probably the last thing I will be showing you guys, is the option to cut your parachutes and use the reserve parachute. The reserve parachute is non-steerable. Right now I am using a steerable parachute as my primary parachute. I will cut it around 500 meters, maybe 1,000 meters altitude. I'm going to put myself up in the skies. Quick note, I do hope that ACE will change the way free falling and parachuting works right now. I don't think it's necessarily realistic that you can slow down within like a 50 meters span, like from deploying to. It's just, I don't know, compared to ACE ArmA 2, it's not that great. So I'm hoping that, and I think they will be implementing some of the features. So right now I'm going to deploy my parachute at a way too high altitude. As you can see, it is a steerable parachute. And with the self-interaction menu, I'm just going to cut it again, which will put me back in the free falling animation. This time, you don't see a visual difference, but this time I'm... Oh shit. Less talking, more deploying. So right now, this is a non-steerable parachute, as you can see in the top left. And I cannot control this. I'm just literally... Yeah, the wind is carrying me right now. Actually do wonder if the wind is actually carrying me, but... I assume since this is the first iteration of the new like reserve parachutes, I assume that they'll be implementing different parachute models later on, like maybe a T10, just like they did in Ace 2. As far as I know, Ace 3's goal is to first of all implement all of the Ace 2 features again, so that's kind of nice, or at least most. So that's about it. That's all the like big differences that I could find in this update. I mean, of course, there's fixed versions. Like there's, I'll put a changelog in the description below. But you know, these are the primary new added features, and it's looking good. I like the direction Ace is going, and I like to see them continue. Anyway, if this helped you out, feel free to leave a like. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer you. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.